What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis. Coming to y'all with that quick analysis, man. We're going to talk about Keon Johnson, a guy that a lot of people loving right now. A little small for my liking, 6'3", but shows a lot of upside and a high ceiling. Just because when you have a guy that has this type of athleticism, show potential as a scorer from all three levels, you do get excited. But we had a lot of guys like him the last 7 years. Probably can go back to 10, but not as high. That you want this guy to be something. You want him to become this player. And I feel like fans get tricked like that every single draft where they get a guy that they like or they seen highlights of or people compare him to a particular person and they think they're going to be that guy or close to that guy or something like that guy. Well, in reality, it's just a comparison of what they have done or what they potentially will be in the NBA. Doesn't mean it's going to happen or they're going to live up to it. And Keon Johnson finds himself in the same situation where people see him as a guy that has a lot of the tools that you want in the guard and the wing, and you want to pick him up because of that. But we don't really know how he's going to develop. We don't really know how he's going to play because he hasn't played in the NBA yet, and he hasn't got adjusted or nothing because he hasn't played a game. So when I look at Keon Johnson, I like what I see on tape. I like what I see when it comes to the things I'm looking for and an offensive guard. Plus, he shows some two-way potential, getting blocks and playing a little hustle basketball and stuff like that is very intriguing, is very interesting, and that's why he's a top 10 pick to a lot of guys. And the fact that you look at what he's doing and the things that he done continuously throughout the season, you see him try and do different things, adding different things, but he never was really dominant at them. He was never really highly efficient at them, in my personal opinion. And that just makes you want to just draft him based off potential. He has a lot of the things that you like and you want in a player, in a guy that could be a star player in the NBA. But it takes years to really develop those things, and it takes a lot of hard work to really be dedicated to this game to really get to that level. And it's going to be interesting. But if you're looking at a guy that's in the top 10, he's going to be that guy that everybody feels has that upside to be an all-star caliber player if the situation is right, if the timing is right, and if the development is there. You have to want it for yourself. You have to love the game. You have to enjoy putting work into the game, and you have to live by this game if you really want to make it to the top, especially when you as raw as Keon Johnson is. And the fact that he showed signs of being able to put things together little by little throughout the season is something that you definitely want to see. But it's just a whole nother game when you're playing it at the NBA level and you look at Keon as a guy that's going to be a great addition to your team, but not a significant impact going to be left on your team as a rookie. So this is a guy kind of like Anthony Edwards. I look at you look at a lot of the things he has, but you know he's far away mentally when it comes to IQ, when it comes to being prepared, when it comes to consistency. He just doesn't have it, and you know that he has the ability to get there. You know that he has the things that is necessary to be able to establish a starting point to get them to the skills that they need to be, which is polished. But we don't know how long it's going to take, and we don't know if it's really going to, come out. You can get ingredients, and you're going to put the little things you like. You're going to do the little things you like, and you're going to make it the way you want to, and then you're going to try to make it turn out the best way for you. And that's what Keon Johnson is to me. I like a lot of the things that he showed. I like a lot of the things that he was doing. He had definitely earned my respect as a player, but at the same time, if you're looking for a guy with some upside, he's going to be a guy that a lot of teams going to try to snag in that top 10 and use him as a reclamation project. You're going to have to put a lot of stuff on him and a lot of time and patience with him for him to get to where he needs to be. A problem with that is the teams that can select him either already have guards or I don't really see him being a key piece to their team unless they change their roster within the next 2 years. So it's going to be very interesting because I don't really see him as a guy that can come in and be a great rookie right away on either side of the court because it's just another animal in the NBA, especially when you're starting off as raw as he is right now. So when I look at the upside, he's a fun watch. He's very exciting. he is a guy that you want to get in the gym with. You want to see what he does and what he doesn't do, and how you can do this and how you can do that when it comes to changing. And that's going to be fun in general. But I look at Keon Johnson as a 3 year player. Like, he's 3 years away, possibly from being a significant role player at best. Just because I don't really see him doing the things he did in college on the NBA level, and he didn't really do them elite anyway at the college level. So it just shows you he does need more polish in a lot of the areas that he showed improvement and growth in. And it's really just gonna come down to situation, how many minutes they're gonna give him, how long they're going to allow him to grow, how patient they will be with him so he can get the necessary help and development that he needs to get to the level that the team probably visions him being. And I just don't see it happening right away. I don't see that happening, but it really does depend on what you want out of him. Do you see him as an all-star? Do you see him as a guy that can be your fourth or fifth best starter, which isn't bad, getting him in the 10th or the ninth or the seventh spot, because a lot of these teams, like I said, have established players already. They don't really need him to be a superstar. And I think that's good for him too, because he doesn't have that superstar razzle dazzle right now. And being 6'3" is a little normal now for the NBA. A lot of guys are 6'3". A lot of guys are around that 6'4", 6'5" range. So if he plays the shooting guard position, he's not going to be bothered a lot by height. It is some big, strong guards, but that's not as much as playing point. If you play him as a two guard, he should be fine, and he still has a little bit more room to grow. And then to me, when I look at what he brings to the table, he's gonna be a guy that you're gonna love and hate. He shows a lot of flashes of things that you want your player to do, but he's gonna have a lot of mistakes ahead of him just because he's still learning the game and still learning these moves that he's trying to master. So he's a fun prospect. He's going to be one that a lot of people going to go crazy when he gets drafted. That guy can be a star. That guy's going to be amazing. That guy's is going to be a steal. But, a lot of those guys that people have been saying that about the last 7 to 10 years haven't even became significant role players on great teams, or they haven't become all-stars like people thought. A lot of these guys were bigger. A lot of these guys were more athletic, and a lot of these guys didn't even come close to those levels. So Keon Johnson is a guy you definitely got to keep an eye on, just because he showed the flashes. But potential is something that a lot of teams either go all in on or they fail just because the guy doesn't reach it or never comes close to it. And now you're in the lottery again trying to find the next all-star, superstar guy to put or build your franchise with. And it's just how the draft goes. So Keon Johnson is a guy y'all got to watch out for. There's a lot of guards that come in like Keon, and you see a lot of the similarities, and you see a lot of the things that he was doing, and you see the highlights, and you get behind it, and you're feeling it. But those guys usually never really become anything significant in the league. Not saying that he won't, but it's just been a trend of these type of guys. And I really want to see if some of these things going to really be translatable. Can he really be a great 3-point shooter? Can he really be a guy you can give the ball to and he can get you a bucket? He showed that, as he continued to grow in college, but he's going to have to do that if he wants to get significant minutes and be a guy that can really have an impact on the team. And if he was that raw in college, just imagine how far it's going to take him in the NBA, and how much work he's going to have to put in to get to do that at the NBA level. So he's an interesting guy. He's a guy with upside. He's a guy that can be a key piece to a team, but he's also a guy that he has that borderline where he can just be your sixth, seventh, or eighth guy on your bench and you'll be fine with it. But do you want that in the top 10? No. Do you want that if he become an all-star? That's the gamble on potential. We don't know who he's going to be. We don't know how he's going to turn out. We only can judge him based on what we see now. I see a lot of potential, but, potential only really gets you so far in the NBA, and we done seen that the last 10 years. So Keon, I like what he did. I like what he showed. I like the defense. Like I said, I like the fact that he goes for the steals, to chase down blocks. I like that he tries to stay in front of his man. Those are things that you definitely want to see. But that was on the college level. We have to see him do it at the highest level and be a starter at least in the highest level. And if you get a starter, that's not terrible in that range. But if you want a little bit more, it might take you 3 years to really see if he's going to be that. So whoever selects him is going to be a process. It's going to be a long-term mentality that you're going to have with this guy. And if you're patient and he has the want and the love and the passion for the game, he can turn out to be a special player. But he has to have all those things in the situation in a team that's willing to give him the opportunity to succeed. And if he doesn't have all those things, he won't be an all-star. If he has some of those things, he'll be a role player. And he has a little bit of those things, he'll be a rotation player. And that's just how the game is in the NBA. I'll be coming to y'all with my playoff reactions on Thursday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the playoffs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this analysis. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm doing this for the Hoopers. I'm doing it for y'all. And you know what? See y'all tomorrow.